Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dead in Vinland. You can't sneak that. No, you're right. It's the cave is gone. It's been abolished, disintegrated, sent to a different ethereal plane of existence, and we've made progress. Basically, what happened was I sent our good pal Moira here. As you can see, she's a little tuckered out. I sent her into the caves and we wandered around for many clicks, and eventually, as you can see quite clearly, she is now a cave explorer, and she encountered our good friend Elof and discovered that he had been kind of squirreling away or hoarding, if you will, some of Bjorn's tributes. A certain percentage he would tuck off into this cave, and we've discovered that without having to encounter Elof at all. And now with that we have this information, we are going to attempt to blackmail the stinky swine of a human being. So let's see how that goes, because I have a feeling it's not going to be that straightforward. Hello, Elof. I don't have anything to say to you, Scram. Oh, but I have something to say to you, and you should listen well. I know your dirty little secret. I found your secret stash. Elof's face turns livid. He gulps, and sweat starts flowing, emitting a strong, unpleasant smell. You gotta have bad hygiene that you just start to emit a bad smell just at the drop of a hat like that. What? Your stash. You accumulated quite the loot in this cave behind you. I wonder how Bjorn would react if he happened to see it for himself. No, he gulps. Don't say such things, my friend. I'll let you reflect on that. Me, I'll go back to my camp, or Bjorn's camp. I'll decide on the way out. Elof crumbles into his knees and starts crying, his red face uglier than ever. No, please, my friend, I beg you, mercy. Have mercy on me. You don't know what he is capable of. This man is a beast. No more tricks, Elof. We'll help you, I promise. Give me the key to Bjorn's camp, Elof. Yes. He shakily searches his pockets twice, swearing, and finally hands you a large, crude key. Now, do you think this is actually... Here, take it. But even like this, you are fools to defy Bjorn. He's not a man. He'll kill you. And now he'll kill me too. He takes his head in his hands, crying again and rolling on the floor like a grotesque giant babby. Oh. Again, I don't know. We had the option to fight him before, didn't we? Or at least try to kill him again. And, I don't know if we could actually get anywhere with that. I'm going to just move my phone real quick. So if you'll just excuse me for hopefully 3 seconds. Yeah, I've been so paranoid lately. I'm really at the point where I'm starting to question my own mental state, if that makes any sense. With the flat earth thing and a lot of the podcasts, directly what I'm talking about is a lot of the podcasts I've been listening to lately have been talking about your phone's capability of listening to what you're saying, and the always on sort of mentality. And I don't need my phone knowing, or at least listening to me talking to you, a microphone and a video game that no one else is hearing. I don't know if this is going to get us anywhere. I think we were on the track to do a more of a spare him approach. We are trying to build a new home. We don't need any sort of undeserved blood on our hands. Elof has never directly taken up arms against us, and he's now literally on his knees sobbing and smelling in front of us. And I'm not going to just lop his head off. No, we'll spare him. After a long while, he stops crying and stands up, his face covered in mud and tears. You cannot win, my friends, unless I help you again. If you don't succeed, I don't want to think about it. Your only chance to defeat Bjorn, even with his lieutenants by your side, would be to weaken him. If you bring me a tasty cooked meal, I could fill it with a little poison I have here and give it to Bjorn. It's not strong enough to kill him, but it would give you a chance to fight him on equal footing. Come see me again with the meal. Quick, you must end it now. Okay. Very nice. So we've made progress. We'll see if we can get such a meal now. Do we have any food on hand? One thing about this new house, I know I haven't talked a lot about the move. Tasty cooked meal. That's just a regular cooked meal. What is a tasty cooked meal? 20% chance of tasty. So we'll bring Solveig out. And we'll stick her here. And then we'll go to the hunting camp and we'll pull in some traps. 9, that should be lots. We'll take one more. We'll put these 3 back out. That'll give us 9 still. It should give her a decent enough chance to cook us up a tasty meal. What does adding the fruit give us? Cooked meal. Oh, it's a meal we need. Wait a minute here. So, wait a minute. So, it's a very specific thing that we need, right? It's not just... I keep clicking the wrong button. Tasty cooked meal. So, if we look at this and choose a recipe, cooked meal, we need the fruit for it. Son of a gun. So, can we... Shit. Misclick. Oh well. So we're gonna have like a literal shit ton of meat, raw meat. I wanted to trade and see if we could get some fruit. Basic resources. Reconsider. Special items. No, reconsider. Other stuff. Reconsider. Never mind. Okay, so we can't get any fruit anyway. So all that really means is that we have wasted a bunch of meat and have a bunch of meat on hand. It's really, in the grand scheme of things, not totally terrible. We can always feed some of this to you. I don't know if that does much. We've got battle dog. We can do guard dog. Right? Like we have that set up already, right? Traits. Battle dog. We still have a few days left on that. It's gonna be a while till we get fruit though. So maybe, yeah, maybe we won't. We'll just have you go and fetch. You're gonna be cooking like so much stuff. Well, 78, that's actually not that bad. We're at 100%. I can't see because if I look over on OBS, yeah, we got 100% there. So, oh shoot. What have I done, people? There we go. I lost you. I'll send Angelico. Sure. Angelico will go and these are plowed and ready to go. Do a couple of those. We'll do some watering. That's good. There's nothing for you to do there. Okay. Get us some fruit. We've got tons of meat. We don't need any more meat. So you two can go there and there. Moira's rested herself up. So we'll kind of, we'll just keep working our way through doing some basic buffs. Just to see if we can stay on track in that respect. So really we're waiting now to be able to cook a good meal. And yeah, like I said, I haven't talked a lot about the whole new house thing lately. There was some furnace drama, there was some moving drama, there was For a while there, I was recording and coming at you live from the bottom of my stairs. Now I'm in my own little studio here, which just really just means the smallest room that my wife would let me have. But yeah, this house I've noticed a lot lately, and my kids are very impressionable, and they get a lot of their impressions from their mother, and their mother is, I'm not gonna say superstitious, but she definitely is open to a lot of ideas that I would consider strange. One of those strange ideas that she tends to be open to is the concept of spirits. And that is something that I do not agree with at all. Not that I'm against them for like religious purposes or anything. It's just, I don't put any stock into the idea that there are spirits around. And since we've been here, my oldest daughter, who happens to be probably the most impressionable to her mother's whims and fancies, flights of fancy. Oh, what do we got here? I can't see because the flipping curtains are not black enough. Not much. Oh, I can always look at OBS. Yeah, okay. So via the OBS window here to my left, a shadow was lurking in the night. Moira is patrolling the camp tonight while everyone else is asleep. Oh, crap. Why Moira? Moira didn't see anything weird. So that must be Elof, who's rooting around stealing from us. It's gotta be. Yeah, so my eldest daughter is the most impressionable. And over the years, she's kind of been between tasty roasted meal. It's not a cooked meal. These are just roasted meals. She's been led to believe, either intentionally or unintentionally, that she contains some kind of inherent ability to see spirits. Now, this is not a thing where it's like, oh yeah, this is an everyday part of her life. No, this is just a thing where, like, because when she was little, she said that she saw somebody in someone else's house, kind of thing. Someone who wasn't there, obviously, and the babysitter where she was said, oh, she must be seeing. And it's just something that sort of builds over, many, many years, over a decade of random little occurrences, right? So little things like that. They'll take a picture of her, and in the picture there'll be one of those little dots that appears, and everyone says, oh, look, it's a spirit friend, and your daughter is has these spirits around, like. And this is over many, many years. This is not something that happens every day. We're not sending her to spiritual enlightenment camp or how to be a medium.com. It's nothing like that. It is just sort of this ongoing joke, where I will say, oh yeah, let's go visit that haunted house, and our daughter can introduce us to everybody. Kind of thing. It's not a serious thing, but it's definitely something that exists. And she has, since day one, said that there is the spirit of, get this, a house cat, a pet, that is in this house and is doing all sorts of things in her room, which is where that cat would have been spending 99% of its time, granted. But that doesn't mean anything. It's like saying that no one's ever flown over Antarctica, so the Earth must be flat. It's not an accurate sort of representation of reality. Yeah, so we planted this, and then... Now, this humidity is going to increase by itself tonight, right? This is one thing I never knew, right? Does this roll happen before or after? I don't know when the rolls happen. So we basically just need to wait another day. There's really nothing. You definitely don't need to be here. And Moira, just as punishment for your lack of whatever, you're going to be doing fishing for us. Everyone else is just going to kind of hang out in the shelter. because there's like literally nothing to do. And so it's something that has been happening still in this new house 100 feet away. And the reason I bring this all up is because I've been noticing a lot lately. I've had the time to be a little bit more spending more time in the house by myself, and I've been noticing many strange sounds that sound like movement. Now, I don't know what the rules of ghosthood are. I can't imagine why a ghost would have weight enough to impact the house. It makes no sense, right? And yet the you know, when you have just that sense of movement, like it's a shift. And the only thing I can think of is, in fact, the fact that, I mentioned this before, we get so much sun into this house. And so, like, I was just outside shoveling off the ice, and I was only out there for like maybe 15 minutes, and my fingers became so pained with cold pain in those shoveling for 15 minutes that I had to come inside. And as a result... Okay, we have some talk. Blodeuwedd, can I be completely honest with you? You can and you should. I've heard people questioning Eirik's leadership. They fear our leader is too soft to handle the infamous Bjorn and his goons. And you, what do you think? I don't mean no disrespect to your husband, but I think they're right. Oh, now, like I mean, what we've always said is that even with Parvana, when Eirik would dance, you know, with her, it was all in good fun. It was meant to raise the mood, kind of loosen things up a little bit, and we never took it too far. When they fell in the hole together, he was totally faithful. There was no shenanigans going on. It was just about relieving some tension and sort of going with the flow with the new people, right? And we wanted Blodeuwedd to kind of have the same sort of experience, right? Just the sort of, oh, you know, a new friend, have some wine, share some stories, no big deal, right? But to turn around and say that you doubt his leadership, it was never in the cards. In the end, what it comes down to, she trusts her husband. I trusted him all these years, and he never failed me. That's right. I won't withdraw my support when he needs it most. Of course, love. Love? What's that got to do with it? Got to do with it? Everything. That's why I never allowed myself to fall in love with a crew member. Makes you blind to reason. And when you fight on a floating piece of wood, you need to keep both eyes wide open. It was strangely ominous, to be honest. So yeah, with all the extra sun and the brutal cold that was out there, it's actually incredibly sunny again today. Yesterday was overcast. The day before was also sunny, and temperature ramped up in here. And again, I think the house is heating up from the sun, but it's still cold out, so there's a lot of creaking and shifting, and I didn't cook my fish. And so there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on within the inner workings of the construction of the chateau, and we're getting a lot of strange creaks and groans. But I will say, the other night I had probably like the second most terrifying, that's a lot of fish to lose, second most terrifying evening of my life while trying to fall asleep. I've gotten in this habit of falling asleep with earbuds in, and can we harvest? Harvestable at 80, so we can actually harvest this one. We probably won't need much. We can't harvest this one, so if we put somebody here, we should only get the one, right? Okay, so do we have to click a button to harvest this? No, okay. yeah, I was trying to fall asleep. I got in this habit of using earbuds and listening to a podcast or certain moon landing contradictory possible flat earth conspiracist or a podcast of a more generic nature. And the other night while I was doing that thing, I swear every once in a while I would hear a voice kind of hissing my name, like right beside my bed, and with the strange creaks. And then the other night, strange lights, like areas that shouldn't have been illuminated, like even by street light or like the glow of a digital clock off the oven or something. Just things that were out of the ordinary. And this one particular night with every time I would start to doze off, I'd hear that sort of hissing, growling, almost Roman kind of thing right in my ear, and I'd look around and try to understand the layout of the room and where am I. Very disoriented, disorienting experiences for some reason lately, and I don't know if that's the effect of something supernatural happening, which I don't believe that. But I cannot deny the terror that I felt that night when it seemed like someone was standing both in my room, at the entrance to my room, at the end side of my bed, and also like right in my ear, all at the same time. And what I ended up chalking it up to was actually just as I was falling asleep, maybe doing a kind of a snort, and my brain was still active enough to, for whatever reason, interpret it as my name being hissed at me, and maybe that's what was happening. I don't know, but all I know is it was absolutely terrifying, and I don't scare. Well, it's not. I actually do probably scare slightly more easily than average for that kind of thing. I don't know what it is. For some reason, if ever any of any kind of nighttime routine is off, like I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. It's not that I'm afraid of the dark. It's that if anything kicks my normal routine kind of out of whack, I'll get incredibly jumpy. So for instance, like when we had a wood burning stove, if I would feed that stove at an off time and then have to wake up in the middle of the night to feed the fire, when normally we could get through the night with it, so say 2, 3, I have to get up, put some more wood in the fire. I would be incredibly jumpy, walking to the fire, what's around the corner here, what's that, things just didn't seem right, throw me off, coming back to bed after that, trying to get back to sleep, throw me right off, throw me for a loop. Did we get any tasty meals out of this? So I am open to the idea. There we go, tasty cooked meal. We will bring this to Elof in the next one. I'm not going to talk about my sissy, terrified nature anymore, but I will say that I probably am. There are times when I am more easily spooked than the average individual of my stature, age, sex, gender, and all those things. Yeah, and that's just being totally honest, which is, if nothing else, you get honesty out of Roman in these videos. Until then, thanks very much. See you soon.